Sorry, let me just pick my wedgie too. Okay, there you go.
All right, welcome to Roger That, the fantasy football show. We are going over our quarterbacks to draft and quarterbacks to avoid in today's video. Before we get into that, we wanted to say thank you for those that have subscribed and listened to us in our previous episodes. We are pleading, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. Definitely having fun doing it, and we've seen some positive feedback. So please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment down below who is your quarterback to avoid. Let's jump right into it with the quarterbacks that we are going to be targeting. Jake, who is your first quarterback to target?
To target. Yeah, so the guy that, like you said, like obviously if I can land Lamar Jackson at a good price or Mahomes a good range, like any day of the week. But the guy that I really like, sort of that middle round that I'm targeting this year is Carson Wentz. Currently has an ADP of 91. And a couple stats just stand out to me. You know, one of the knocks on Wentz is not being able to stay healthy, but he did play all 16 games last year. And I think the offense, they upgraded in a big time way this year, adding a bunch of speed to the wide receiver position, drafting Rager in the first round, and then adding Marquise Goodwin and then John Hightower, who's like a late round sleeper at wide receiver as well. You know, couple that with the two tight ends, Miles Sanders, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who was an early pick last year, and PFF's #1 overall offensive line in last year's rankings. I think that offense is going to, I think the offense is going to be absolutely electric. He's got the 12th easiest strength schedule in terms of quarterbacks. I just think he's poised for big numbers and getting back to that MVP type status that he was at a couple years ago before those injuries started to rack up. You know, if I can get him at 91, I think he's, you know, a high flyer, could be back in the MVP race type category. So for me, he's a guy I'm looking at in that 91 range all day.
He's a dad now too, right? He's got the dad strength.
Gotta provide.
Yeah. Cam, who's yours?
Now, this person I think is my favorite. I think he'll be my favorite pick in the draft, and that's Drew Locke. So the thing with Drew Locke is, if you look at him, I believe he was on. He was hurt the first 10 weeks of the year. I believe it was a thumb injury, and he came in 5 games. He went 4-1. He had a 64% completion percentage, I should say, and he threw for 7 touchdowns with 3 picks. And I know it's a small sample size, but I mean, if you look at that offense, I mean, explosive offense, playmakers everywhere. Tight end, yeah, they got 2. They got Albert O and they got Noah Fant. Running back, oh, they got 2. They have Phillip Lindsay and they have Melvin Gordon. Receiver, they got 3. They have Hamler, they have Judy, and they have Sutton. So if you want an offense that's going to fly around, that's going to put up points, I think Drew Locke is an absolute steal at his ADP of 158. So if you're someone like myself who likes to, like Jake said, if you could get Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes with a good value pick, but as I'm seeing it right now, they're going between 20 and 25. And for me, I wouldn't take a quarterback that early. There's so much value on the board. You can have your whole lineup set. You can have pretty much your whole bench set, and then you can take Drew Locke at 158 with the upside that he can provide. A strategy that I think could be very beneficial is, all right, if you're not super confident, you can take a quarterback, but then you can take Drew Locke super late. And because Jake, I know you've done that before. Mm-hmm. You've taken a quarterback decently early at a good value pick, but then you've also taken a really
sort of a high risk gamble guy that could pan out to be a stud later on.
And I think Drew Locke is that guy. I think the Broncos are going to be. I think they're going to be a playoff team, and I think Drew Locke is going to break out.
I mean, I like it because we got your fantasy rings on lock here. Your fantasy championship rings on lock, and we might have to make a t-shirt.
I'm taking Drew Locke in every league. If you don't believe me, I will post all of my rosters, and you will see Drew Locke on every single one of them.
If you want to believe Cam, just look at the fact that he's invested thousands of dollars into Drew Locke cards. So he's got, he's high on this guy.
I am a sports card investor, and I have a lot into Drew Locke, and I truly do believe in him.
I mean, the offense speaks for itself, just names alone. And Melvin Gordon, most notably to me, because he's a running back that one can establish the ground game, open it up for a quarterback, but also Melvin Gordon is a pass catcher big time. Like, he's not just a running back.
And don't sleep on Philip Lindsay. I mean, he is, talk about home run hitter. Once he gets to that second level, no one's catching him.
And those shootouts with the Chiefs twice a year are going to be fun to watch.
Go Broncos.
All right, so my Cam's now a self-appointed leader of the Bronco Nation. So my quarterback to target is a guy that he's actually finished since 2011, I think, or 2012 actually, top 15 quarterback every single season. This past season, before he got hurt, he was on pace for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. This is Matthew Stafford, who's ADP right now, 110,
rated,
and he's going anywhere from 13 to 15 as a quarterback. He's got arguably the best offense that he's probably had since Megatron, right? He's finally got a stud X receiver, Galladay, and then he's got Jones, Amendola. Then he comes down, and they actually have a couple young running backs too. That one
Hawkinson at tight end.
Hawkinson at tight end. Also, they picked up Jerome Allison. Like, he's got weapons out there. Not to say that they're mega stars or anything like that, but he hasn't had much since Calvin Johnson retired, and he finally has like a good offense around him. And I don't know. I just love the idea that he, even in years where he hasn't had anything around him or he's played hurt because he's a tough as hell guy, he's managed to finish as a top 15 quarterback, which obviously that isn't necessarily a starter in your 10 and 12 team leagues, but he's had plenty of top 10s within those, 8 years? Matthew Stafford, I'm thinking, is trending upwards. Like, yeah, he's getting older. He got paid, whatever, but you look at last season, he got injured. He was on pace for 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns. He's going to be a top 5 quarterback. And now he has an even better offense around him. And he's coming back from that injury that they say he's fully healed with no repercussions from. So lock it in. Matthew Stafford, I am excited to take.
I think he is one of the most, if not the most underrated, not only quarterback in fantasy, but he could be one of the most underrated players in all of fantasy football.
Yeah, he's a slinger too. Like, all things considered too, the guy likes to sling it.
Absolutely.
It's like those sling commercials. Have you seen those? We're slingers.
Yeah. Hey, come on. They're not paying us to say that. Chill out.
It might be in the future.
Sling. Jake, let's move on to quarterbacks to avoid here. And again, I'm going to bring it up again like I did at the top of the episode. It's all based on ADP and value and risk.
Well, no, this guy I would never draft.
So this isn't. You're calling for a bust?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if I told you that this quarterback had the lowest completion percentage they've had in several years and had a QBR that was tied with Jameis Winston last year? Famous Jameis. Would you draft this player coming up?
Seeing as Jameis Winston's been blind? No.
So the guy I'm talking about is Tom Brady, who's replacing Winston in Tampa Bay. Now, I'm partially going off because he broke my heart. That's why I wouldn't draft him. But the other reason is, the Bill Belichick effect is so real in this. How many times have we seen a Bill Belichick player leave and go produce better numbers somewhere else? And you're telling me the ultimate valuation of this is the quarterback that he's had for 20 years? Belichick knows this guy better than anyone. The fact that he wasn't willing to lock this guy up for another couple of years just shows he knows that Brady's done. And I don't care about the offense he's going to. He's going to have all new receivers, an offensive line that's not that talented, running backs that aren't great. So I'm staying away from Tom Brady at an ADP of 109. I think that's absurd. I wouldn't touch this guy with a 10-foot pole next season.
Whew. Strong words for a guy that used to love him.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like an ex, now he's just deleting him from my history.
Okay, Cam. Who's yours?
Wow. I mean,
Just got riled up.
And to think that you're a Patriot fan, okay. I sense
the Patriots anymore.
I sensed a little disrespect there, but it's fine. Going off of really, I guess we could say, elite quarterbacks in their career, mine's Aaron Rodgers. So believe it or not, Rodgers only finished inside the top 12 5 times last year. But what he did, 28, 19, 46, 28, and 28. So obviously I believe he still ended up finishing as QB 10. But I mean, those numbers are a little skewed because I mean, he had 46 points. He scored under 15 points over 66% of the time last year.
Wow.
So outside of those 5 games, he was very rarely playable. And for me, they didn't really help him out. Yeah, they got A.J. Dillon for the offense. They have 3 legit running backs who are going to get touches. And to me, Rodgers is not someone I want at his current ADP of, I believe he's, at 78. He's not someone I'm going to draft. And this could honestly be his last year in Green Bay too. So Rodgers, he's a great quarterback, but I think this year I'm definitely looking elsewhere. And I think just the stats really speak for itself.
Yeah, doesn't it make you feel old that our quarterbacks to avoid are Tom Brady and then Aaron Rodgers? It's like, holy crap! Just
and the guys that drafted Drew Locke, like what the hell going on?
I'm not sticking with the trend. I'm going to break the trend. My quarterback to avoid, and this is going to break Cam's heart. So I got to make this clear. This is an Ev decision. I don't know if we have a show consensus here.
Log off. That's who I think you're going to say.
My quarterback to avoid is a guy that has some MVP chances coming up this year. He's actually coming off as the number 5 quarterback on the board. He's only a second-year guy in a system that, doesn't scream MVP worthy. Kyler Murray, we're putting a lot of faith into a guy that's real young, second-year player. I mean, he's had flashes. He's played well. He's good. He's definitely good. But you have to bank on this guy being a top 5 quarterback by drafting him, around the 55 mark or something like that. If you take a chance on Kyler Murray and say he has just a brief regression year, all of a sudden you drafted a guy in which you could have taken a running back that you could play. You could have taken a wide receiver that you could have played. You're drafting a guy in a position that could cost you, and that's what I don't like. If you're doing that for a guy that's been in the league and proved himself and does it year in and year out, fine, I'm not going to argue that. But you are taking a chance on a guy that's not totally proven, a young player, second-year guy, and you are almost putting your fantasy season on the line. You're putting it on his back. Whether or not he can handle that, we'll see. But I'm not ready to take that risk.
Listen.
Yeah, I just looked it up, Evan. The guys going around there are like Le'Veon Bell, Stephon Diggs, McLaurin. So like some big names that you could grab at
Look
position.
At Cam.
Listen. All right. I didn't think I was going to get a little heated this episode. First of all, they just added. Oh, and I know you're going to say, oh, well, we don't know what he's going to do. He literally consistently does not matter who his quarterback has been. DeAndre Hopkins is a top tier fantasy receiver and NFL receiver every single year. Kyler Murray was QB 8 last year, and he really didn't hit his stride until, honestly, like mid to end of the year. You give him a full off season. You give him one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the league. MVP.
Give me a break. He's got to get up on a little step stool to find DeAndre Hopkins before he can even throw it to him.
Disrespect.
If someone takes a chance on Kyler Murray and it works out for them, kind of like when I've given avoids in the past, fine. I'm just not willing to take the risk. I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be, yay far ahead of the next quarterback. It's not like I don't think he's going to blow away the competition. So I don't see what the point in risking it all for him. Like I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be a Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he's going to win your league for you. We'll see. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. You're risking what was he, 24 years old? You're putting your faith of your fantasy season into a kid that, just started drinking a couple years ago.
He's probably younger than that. He's 22.
Oh, yikes. Cam, it's okay. You can speak.
I'm telling you right now, he ran for a little under 600 yards last year, and we saw what Lamar did last year. And
he has DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to run around now?
I'm not saying he's going to put up Lamar-like numbers, but I would not be shocked if Kyler Murray also rushes for 1,000 yards next year.
Oh, my God.
Ask Jake how valuable it was for his quarterback to consistently
huge.
100 yards.
It was huge.
That's fair.
He beat me 3 times, primarily based off of his quarterback threw for 300 and ran for 100. That's insane.
Well, where did he draft him?
Where did you draft him, Jake?
Not the 5th quarterback off the
later.
board.
It was like 12th round.
You took a flyer on him. Sure, it can work out. It can pay off. But I'm saying don't put all your eggs in Kyler Murray's basket.
Yeah, but it's not like you're taking them like Lamar and Mahomes this year. Like we were talking about this earlier, they're going between 20 and 25.
That's insane.
That to me is I don't know. But I mean, if you're telling me that, okay, if you could set up your running back and your wide receiver situation, and let's say you're picking and 4 quarterbacks are off the board and he's sitting there with your 5th pick, and you're not going to, that a quarterback run's coming, because usually I know in our league, sometimes it can go early. Sometimes you really don't know when it's going to come. Once that quarterback run comes,
it happens quick.
It happens quick. You better hope that you have a pick inside of that. And I'm telling you right now, if you can get him if he's there in the 50s for me, I will 100% take him along with Drew Locke later. But I do agree that you can't miss on it, because there's players on the board that could potentially win your league. But then Kyler Murray could also win your league. So it just all depends on kind of how the rain falls.
And I think we can cover this more in the strategy portion.
Is that a saying?
How the rain falls.
That
makes sense.
It definitely makes sense, but I don't think it's a saying.
And not to tease, but I think we could cover this more in the strategy portion when we do a mock draft.
Yeah.
The different strategies of where you should get your quarterback in.
I do want to say this, Cam. Maybe we make our first live bet on the show.
Right now.
$100. Kyler Murray is not a top 5 quarterback.
$250.
Maybe we should stick to 100.
All
right.
Deal.
Shake on it.
Tweet at either RogerThat Cam or Ev Guy Boston. Whose side are you on? I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. Jake, you agree with me. I already know.
No, Jake's staying out of it. He doesn't want to. Oh my God, sports cards, guys. Like, that doesn't mean anything.
Oh.
All right, $100 on the line for that. Kyler Murray, 6 or worse for me, 1 through 5 for you, and I guess I'll just be $100 richer by the end of the season. I hope he finishes at 6, because I'm rooting for him too. Like, I like him. I just don't think he's a top 5 quarterback.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. So I think that'll do it. We gave you guys some debate there too as well. So you either got to trust me or Cam. You're not riding all of us right now. Pick your poison. Just want to mention real quick before we get off, I won the league last year. So just
I should have won the league, but
yeah. Okay. Listen to that. So if you're viewing this, you're either listening to the guy that won the league or the guy that's, I should have won the league. Yeah. Kyler Murray. But all right, thank you guys for watching this episode. We like Jake kind of teased, we're gonna get into a mock draft fairly soon. It's gonna be an awesome thing for you guys. It's gonna be one of the longer videos. Be able to get out your popcorn, be able to get a nice drink or something. If you're above 21, crack a beverage, sit back and watch us draft. I'm gonna be doing running back heavy. Cam, I think you're going best available, and Jake, you're going wide receiver heavy.
Correct.
So that should be good. That should be coming out in one of our future videos. So make sure you do subscribe to not miss that, and hit that bell notification so that the minute we upload a video, ding, the Roger That boys uploaded a video. Go check it out.
Absolutely.